Can a funny cartoon about a kid who wins an essay contest actually teach us anything meaningful about leadership, bureaucracy, and managing a crisis? Well, believe it or not, it has a ton to say. Let's dive into the accidental civics lesson from the city of New Buddyburg. So, meet our hero, Wally Pondbottom. He's not exactly, mayoral material, but what he lacks in political savvy, he more than makes up for with, well, a genuine leather black belt. And that one line, it pretty much tells you everything you need to know about the unlikely leader we're about to follow. It's a classic daydream, right? You'd probably think about tackling traffic, or maybe upgrading the parks, maybe even free pizza on Fridays. But for our guy Wally, this isn't just some daydream. It's about to become his very sudden, very real, and very chaotic new reality. Okay, so here's the setup. Wally wins the annual Mayor for a Day contest because of his, and I quote, literary eloquence. And almost immediately, the real mayor, Fear Feather, announces he's off on a top-secret mission, which, let's be honest, is probably just a spa day, leaving Wally in charge. Well, kind of in charge. So what does our new mayor get to do? He's handed this official itinerary that includes presidential finger painting and executive nap time. Seriously, the whole thing is designed to look official while keeping him totally busy and out of everyone's hair. So he's got the fancy office and the title, but zero actual power. And this is where things start to get really interesting. Wally's brother, Gil, who has appointed himself vice mayor, sees this as their big chance to build a legacy. But Wally, our accidental leader, has a much simpler, more direct goal in mind. You can really see the two different mindsets here. On one side, you've got Gil, dreaming of statues and history books, the whole shebang. And on the other side, there's Wally, who just wants to use his one day in power to give every single citizen a free ice cream cone. It's a simple, nice thing for the people, but it's about to slam headfirst into a giant wall of red tape. And right on cue, in comes the chief of staff, Pamela, to explain something called the democratic process. Basically, it's the system of checks and balances that's supposed to make sure laws are made carefully, not on a whim. The key word here? Slow, like really slow, by design. So to make his free ice cream idea happen, Wally has to officially propose it, get a bill drafted, and then, get this, wait a full week for the city council to even look at it. Yeah, his one-day term is going to be long gone before anyone gets a single scoop. The system is just too slow. Just when it seems like the day is destined to be all about finger painting and failed legislation, the story takes a hard left turn. An alarm starts blaring, a real crisis hits, and it's a problem that definitely can't wait a week for a council meeting. The stakes just got real. There's a breach in the county dam. If they don't do something, like right now, the entire town of New Buddyburg is going to be underwater. The time for slow, careful procedure is officially over. They need action, and they need it now. And at this exact moment, the one moment the town actually needs its experienced, elected leader, he's nowhere to be found. Which leads everyone to ask the obvious question, who is actually in charge here? And there's our answer. Whoops, he's not picking up. That top-secret mission has rendered Mayor Fearfeather totally unreachable. There's a complete leadership vacuum. The only people left in the mayor's office are the kid mayor and his ambitious brother. With no time to write a bill and no official leader to call, Wally and Gil have to think fast. They need a solution that's immediate, decisive, and pretty out there. This is that moment where leadership stops being about following the rules and starts being about making up new ones on the fly. So how do they justify their absolutely bonkers plan? With this amazing line from Gil. See, they remember a time they patched a flat tricycle tire with used chewing gum, and they figure, hey, why not do that to the city dam? It's a terrible idea, for sure. But as Gil points out, sometimes innovation is born from the most unlikely and, frankly, terrible of places. And what they're about to do is a perfect, if totally bizarre, example of what's known as an executive action. It's the complete opposite of that slow democratic process we talked about earlier. This is a direct order from the person in charge to solve a crisis immediately. It skips all the normal steps because there's simply no time. And here it is, their executive action in all its glory. Step 1, get a ridiculous amount of bubblegum. Step 2, get the entire town to help chew it. Step 3, use that giant sticky wad to plug the hole in the dam. It's insane. It's messy, but unbelievably, it works. Okay, so the crisis is over. The town is safe, even if it is now covered in a fine layer of pink bubblegum. So let's step back and really look at what all this means. What did this completely chaotic day actually accomplish? Mayor Fearfeather finally makes his return. And what's his first concern? Not the near disaster, not the safety of his citizens, but his polling numbers. And that just gives us this perfect, stark contrast. The career politician who's focused on perception versus the accidental leaders who just focus on solving the actual problem. Let's break down the results here. From an official, by-the-book point of view, the day was a total disaster. There's a huge bubblegum mess to clean up, and Wally's ice cream idea accidentally got passed as a weird new law. But from the perspective of the people who live there, the actual result? Their town didn't flood. And hey, they're getting free ice cream. By that measure, the day was a stunning success. And this is where we see the real change in Wally. At the beginning of the day, he was just a kid who was happy he won a contest. But by the end, after taking real action and making a real difference, he's genuinely inspired. He starts thinking, hey, maybe I could actually do this for real. So that's really the final question this whole story leaves us with. Does leadership come from a title, or does it come from taking action? Mayor Fearfeather had the job title, but he was absent when it mattered. Wally was just a kid with a temporary title, supposed to do nothing. But when the moment of crisis hit, he was the one who acted and saved the town. It really makes you think about what being a leader truly means.